We've got Robert, who joins us, Robert Olimene. Of course, great to have you with us this morning to talk sports. And sadly, we have to talk about Nigerian clubs again not being able to perform on the continent. Welcome to the show, Robert.
Good morning. It's good to be on the show once again.
Thank you very much. Rivers United, yes, after the first half, I thought they will be able to fight as much as they can to at least get a draw in that game. But the rest was history when we saw that hat-trick from Atef.
I saw the game yesterday, and I was shocked at the fact that the scoreline was goalless as of halftime. Yes, kudos to Rivers United. They were able to hold their own for the first 45 minutes, but it all came crashing down in the second half. In 25 second half minutes, they conceded 3 goals, courtesy of Ahmed Atef. And you look at the fact that at a point in time, the commentator said that Rivers United barely troubled the goalkeeper of Pyramids Football Club yesterday. So it just it shows you how dominant the home team was yesterday in that particular contest, and how much work is in front of Rivers United going forward. Not a good result, not the way you want to begin your CAF Champions League campaign. But it is just sad that the loss was of such margin yesterday. It could have been more, but at least a 3-0 defeat just tells us the story we all need to see, and of course what we need to hear.
Right, Victor, looking at that performance, in as much as this first half was scoreless, Rivers United, like Robert rightly said, they had nothing to offer. They barely created any chances. It was all about Pyramids attacking. Not like Rivers United defended well, it was just Pyramids losing their chances.
They are one of our best representatives. When you talk about Rivers United, they are one of our best representatives on the continent in the past decade especially. And you look at the weights they have pulled, what they have done, and you ask questions about how we approach our football. I'm always happy on this because I think we can do better. Games are won in moments. There are teams that would continue and they know how to seize opportunities and go on a counter and get something done against you. And that's all they wait for. And, you look at how we have built our football. Do we have people that can actually help us see this moment for what they are? People that can help us analyze this moment and say, okay, we have this. So if this player plays in this position, within minute 55, within minute 57, it can be able to make this shot. And then what it does in that moment can help us open up space and do these things. All those things are out there. We see it in the world of football nowadays. It's been there for 5 years, more than that. And yet we are not acting on it. We are not developing on that front. We are not utilizing the few people who are bold enough to venture into those spaces, to analyze, to do bits like that. And we are not using data as we see it. So if we cannot do that, we cannot keep saying we will sit and wait. We cannot help our coaches this ways, because the coaches also, but I mean, look at out there, even in the most developed leagues, the coaches will also bank on the data scientists, the data analysts, the performance analysts to help actually create something right there. So if you're not creating these things, if you're not creating something that will help us find the right balance, we will not match up with them. 2 seasons ago, we had some teams come down for a preseason tournament from the north, and we saw them in Ikene, and I was watching as there was a performance analyst, there was someone who was looking at several things right there, conjuring up stuff, and telling the coaching crew, this is what we should do. And in the twinkle of an eye, they were able to change the tide and get back in that game. But then we do not utilize that down here in Nigeria, and we expect miracles out there against teams that have worked themselves up this hard. So if we go out there, apart from the fact that it is up north where they have that psychological advantage, the technological advantage that they have against us is too far for us to catch up with. So when we put teams out there, sometimes it looks like we're just sacrificing them, and we are putting them at the slaughter stand and just waiting to see if a miracle will not get them massacred out there. And kudos to Rivers United who have done this bit, but I think we need so much more, not just about the playing personnel, but I think the welfareism, I think the technical side of it, I think the analytical side of it, we are not doing enough to actually say we are holding weight with these people. We're only banking on the resilience and the natural talents that we have across board to actually see us through many of these things. And this is the most elite of club competitions in Africa as we speak. So until we start doing these things, I'm sorry, we cannot make headway, because even the South Africans are matching up to it and getting it against the North Africans. We have teams from Tanzania doing this beats. We have teams from Sudan. You have the North Africans already steadying themselves into that position. The South Africans also doing the same. And slowly we are starting to see some Ghanaian teams getting in this. So we are dropping up the rungs of the ladder, and then we start looking at the coefficient and look at where the Nigerian league is, and we ask the question. So until we start doing these things and we start taking these things serious, and trust me, if we do these beats, we have people waiting to be drafted in. Trust me, in Ibadan, in Lagos, in Abuja, in Port Harcourt, I'm sure that Robert knows a few of them who know their onions in this game. So if we start bringing these people in and working them, they will develop, we will develop, and our league will develop, our football generally will develop, and then we have more people coming in to play their roles, and then it becomes a multi-billion naira industry right there for us, our football. And then we will be able to hold our shoulders and say, yes, we can rub shoulders with those in South Africa, with those in North Africa, and we would actually say, okay, maybe we can have a go at the CAF Champions League or at the CAF Conference Cup. But this is Rivers United at the Slaughter Slab against past winners. The past Confederations Cup winners are right there. Past Champions League winners are right there. How do we expect them to perform the miracles? It's a huge question that we need to answer, right there in our football, and we are not yet looking at these things.
Robert, I mean, with all of this conversation on the board year in, year out, are we saying that even next year, whichever club finishes top, the first 4 clubs in the Nigeria Premier Football League, are we saying that we still do not have what it takes to compete? Maybe in the next 5 years, we don't have any club that can compete with the big boys on the continent.
Sadly, that is the truth. We don't. And I would quickly give you this breakdown. For Mamelodi Sundowns, they have played in the CAF Champions League for the past 10 plus consecutive seasons. 10 plus consecutive seasons. That is the record of Mamelodi Sundowns in the CAF Champions League. They did not just play the qualifiers. They played in the group stage and advanced through the tournament. And if you put that side by side, the MPFL teams, which MPFL team right now can you mention that has played consecutive continental football in the past 10 years? Certainly not Enyimba. Enyimba played last year. They are not there this year. So that automatically knocks them out of this conversation. Remo Stars, they are yet to cut their teeth when it comes to continental football. Abia Warriors were nowhere to be found. They were knocked out by Malian side Joliba in the qualifying series. So they've not played continental football. And you look at other teams in the MPF. The last time Lobby Stars played continental football was 2017-2018. And that is a 5-year gap. So when it comes to, if Lobby Stars, for instance, get promoted into the MPFL, and of course they want to play continental football, they have a 7-year gap, knowledge gap in this case, that they need to fill, which would help them navigate the deep waters of continental football. And these are one of the problems MPFL teams have: lack of consistency. And as simple as it may sound, it is a big problem when it comes to football on the continent. And as it is, talking about the MPFL before I finish up with Rivers United, as it is, we barely have teams in the MPFL that successfully defend their titles. The last team to successfully defend their title was Kano Pillars, and that was around 2011, 2012, 2013. Since 2013, no MPFL team, not one, has successfully defended their title. So it tells you about the consistency problem in the league. Rangers won it some years ago, they did not defend it. Enyimba won it some years ago, they did not defend it. And obviously, it looks like Remo Stars will not defend their title this season. So for Rivers United, the performance yesterday was below par, way below par for arguably one of the best teams in Nigeria. And to your question, for NPFL teams, let us just tell ourselves the truth. It is a long walk from the realities of continental football. Can any NPFL team right now match up to what we are seeing on the continent? It is practically going to take a miracle. And in the next 5 years, personally, I don't see it happen. Yes, something drastic can happen between now and the next 5 years, but looking at the realities before us, I don't see an NPFL team cracking the continental football code between now and the next 5 years if we continue at the rate we are going right now.
Wow, that's a sad assertion. For the next 5 years, not looking like Nigerian clubs can actually battle with the top clubs in Africa.